Oi! So I watched The Burrowers last night. Really cool little film. It's by a director that I'm really digging at the moment called J.T.Petty. I've really enjoyed Mimic 3, Soft for Digging, and I've got Sandman to watch as well. That's his four sort of directorial roles. He's been involved in other films, but these are the ones he's directed personally. And I really dig him as a director. I like his style. The Burrowers is a Western horror. So, it's not a genre that's got a huge amount of films to it that I'm aware of, but it's interesting. Very, very fun little film. I sort of thought it might be a little bit like Tremors when I first looked at the cover and sort of saw it was a bit, out in the sort of Western country and that sort of thing. But it's not like Tremors at all, really. If anything, I liken it to another Western horror that I really, really enjoyed when it first came out, and I've watched it a few times since then, called Dead Birds. If you haven't seen Dead Birds, it's got this really creepy little atmosphere to it. It is sort of more set in like an old abandoned Western shack or house from memory, but it is sort of a Western horror too. But yeah, this had the same sort of vibe as Dead Birds. J.T. Petty, he sort of, I like him because he doesn't give you everything at once. He takes his time. Yeah, he's not one of these directors that has to be flashy all the time. He's sort of a little more understated with his films, a little bit more subtle, perhaps. Maybe not subtle, but um, he doesn't have to have the monsters flashing in your face the whole movie to make it really cool and creepy. He builds a bit of atmosphere and a bit of, lead up with the characters. Yeah, so I really dig him. I think the creature effects are great in this. I believe there's a lot of, I don't know if there's any CGI, there might be, but there's a lot of good, people in suits. But he does it in a really clever way. I had a look at the special features so that it doesn't look particularly like a man in a suit or a woman in a suit, whatever it may be. Um, yeah, he's done a good job with these creatures. And like I said, you don't see the creatures straight up, but that's the way you want it. You want to lead up to something and get surprised at the end, even though you sort of get a bit of a taste on the cover. But yeah, look, I really dug this movie. A little Western horror subgenre that I haven't seen a huge amount of, but I don't believe it's a very big subgenre at that anyway. But yeah, definitely check out The Burrowers. And if you do like The Burrowers, I suggest checking out Dead Birds, because that's a cool little Western horror too. And the creatures are kind of similar too in both movies. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Loved it. Check it out. See ya.